What's up, everybody? It's your local patriot, Howard Atkins here. Today, I'm going to talk about um, NRO, and because I was wanting a NRO job before all the threats and all that with CV May with Sergeant Griff. One that sent two guys for me in CV May tire at Sergeant First Class Pete Chambers' house. From Sergeant Griff, from him, for me, said Specialist Andrew Beeson, a motorman, and Sergeant Rick D, a nurse. Rick D didn't say nothing, but while they were sitting together at Sheriff First Class Pete Chambers' house, Sheriff, in the garage, that's where the chow hall is, and that's for the chow hall for the reunion, and they don't show up every time either, and to the reunions. But this time they both showed up in CV attire, uh, and they say they're he. I was with some before this. We're running around. Michael Brown. He's Michael Brown is he was with me back in OI 4 and 6 uh, in Iraq. In the same platoon, second platoon. But we ran around with Michael Brown, with Jason Eggleston, uh, another guy named um, Smith, but this is Van Smith, uh, but same name with Randall Smith, but it's a civilian, not the military one, because we have one of those too. And um, it was Angel Beeson and me in the back with Eggleston. Randall sitting in the front seat, right seat, and um, Angel Beeson said out of the blue to me, he's like, Howard, I ain't stupid. He didn't say what, why he said it, he just said it. I'm like, okay, man. And we were sitting there passing around a joint and everything with Michael Brown. Uh, he was supposed to be auxiliary police for Duffer, Virginia at this time because they don't need to take drug tests as auxiliary in Duffer, Virginia. Um, so when D showed up, because this time right now is during preparations, um, putting the reunion stuff up, um, taking out the attic and all that stuff. This is what we're doing. We're just putting it up. The you know we have like a parachute canopy and everything uh, to put up. So we're in the chow area, the dining area, and uh, I'm already done with my food and everything. Put my pay away in the garbage can, and Sergeant Andrew Beeson, I don't know if he's sergeant or specialist, but he's one of the two. But here's the more important thing about it is when you get people fired, I don't put my business in other platoons' business. I stick with my platoon. I'm focused on the guys that I'm with mainly, and but they don't know like your train command to be nice to you, or not nice to you, but nice to others because they're not in your platoon. But uh, chain of command, um, the chain of command can be nice to you if you're not in our platoon. You don't know what goes on in our platoon, and they don't see how the NCOs act and the platoon and the mortarmen. They're they don't have to do all the infantry stuff. They have to carry around these mortar tubes and stuff. But I mean, I picked my job and they picked theirs. I don't have a problem with mine. Just I had douchebag chain of command, some of them. I mean, I got rid of Sergeant Griff back in 06. Uh, the platoon morale went up, and we had some laughs. Everything we were a lot funner, I felt, with Sergeant Griff removed, and two other chain of command of the squadrons got removed too, as well. Um, but Sergeant Rick D with Andrew Beeson, right? So Andrew Beeson said, uh, "We're here for Sergeant Griff for you." I'm like, "Oh yeah," and Andrew Beeson said, "Yeah," and at the same time as Beeson said, "Yeah," Rick D nodded his head. Rick D, he was an NCO in uh, third platoon or first platoon, I'm not sure. But he was in my platoon, you know. But they don't know uh, what goes on in in our chain of command. I'm sure they didn't know about Clark getting bigged up, or if they did, I'm sure they didn't know about Specialist Brandon Brown. Brandon Brown, not Micah Brown. There's two. We have Browns too. We have multiple Browns in our platoon, and they're not the only ones. We had multiple other ones before. So, uh, yeah. So Brandon Brown was in frontline arrest down at Fort Polk, and everybody's getting smoked. And Brandon Brown, specialist, uh, he's in front of the platoon, and he's in a friendly arrest, and his squadron's to the right of him, and Sergeant Griff's to the left, and Sergeant Griff kicked his head like a football, and that pissed me off when uh, Brandon Brown jumped up to defend himself, and his squalor, I don't want to mention name because you don't want to fight this dude real time because he's fast. Uh, he jumps in between, says you don't want to do that to Brandon Brown. So Brandon Brown was able to defend himself when he got kicked in the head and friendly arrest and full battle rattle. Disrespect, you know. But I mean, there's a whole lot of stuff. So the NRO job is I've been at blowing up figuratively the Marines blogs with four-star General Mathis, uh, ones I can for the federal marshals of all the same stuff that I've been typing you if you're watching it or whatever you see me posting. I posted these places, trying to get attention with the setup mission from Iraq, what I call setup, and with BBC videotaping, and these Iraqi SWAT team to attack us with American 67 grenades, and some Stephen Raby said there was gunfire, but uh, he has moved around, so that's probably why I couldn't hear because the trucks are loud, because I'm gunning in one of the trucks, MRAPs. And so uh, Captain Gachiro and First Sergeant Captain Armstrong, he's now retired Sergeant Major, and last I knew, he was commander of the CVMA in Clarksville, Tennessee. So, but these guys, Captain Gachiro and First Sergeant Armstrong, they need to be charged with a platoon's worth of how many guys were out there, including with the BBC, because that grenade, the first grenade bounced off my turret shield, then landed on platoon line. But when I heard it, I said, "Grenade, grenade, grenade!" And I thought, I mean, it's nighttime, and when it bounced off and the trucks moved forward, because in my head, I was in counting the seconds, one Mississippi 2. So grenade, 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 you know. And uh, after 6 seconds, I stopped counting because that's when the fuse was blown, right? That's why. But um, so the grenade bounced off my turn shield, landed between the line. The truck's moved up, and our new platoon sergeant, Staff Sergeant Richards, because I got Staff Sergeant Griffin fired a few months earlier, and and Staff Sergeant Richards pointed his rifle to the ground, white lighting a hand grenade that had the pin pulled, but the safety still on, and Staff Sergeant Richards said over the platoon net, "Hey, somebody drop a grenade!" And I can hear it because I have internal life, and uh, then we also have platoon net in the MRAPs. And uh, and then right after that, uh, after everybody got up on our hand grenades, then the hand grenade blows up in front of my truck on Staff Sergeant Ramos, my squatter, because when Sergeant Griff got fired, my squatter, Staff Sergeant Richards, got moved to platoon sergeant, and then I got Staff Sergeant Ramos. And while I was in rank 2, I got high speed to score in my whole squad. First time. uh, and Sergeant Owens, my team leader, he's coming up to me, and I'm right next to Sergeant Ramos at Parade Rest. And he's like, "Hey, Atkins, you need to stop drinking so much soda pop." And I had a Mountain Dew in my hand, and I'm at Parade Rest. And I look at Sergeant Ramos, and Sergeant Ramos says, "Atkins just got the highest piece score in the whole squad. He even beat me, too." And I was like, that's fun to me. So, um, yeah, I'm, I want a federal job, but if I had an NRO job, because that's a mixture of military, CIA, uh, you know, the police, federal marshals, and a few other agencies, if I have that job, then I don't worry about the sheriff and them other stupid gangs. They can't search for me because, I'm up there. And I was trying for an NRO job before. It's just, I can't run it by the United States because to draw them to me. I mean, this is only how I can figure I can get a job if they'll give me amnesty for anything that's against the United States. How else can get somebody's attention? It's I mean, I still haven't had circulation in my right hand since May 2019 or 2000. No, May. I've had circulation in my hand since May this year to the 19th. So, um, and I need to get dental done because I have a gold crown on this side because being 100%, I got a gold crown there, and then I'm supposed to get an implant on this side, but that's all that other stuff. Sergeant First Class Pete Chambers, sheriff, and Sergeant Griff, and then uh, a bunch of stupid stuff. And then my dad also says that the government's pissed off at me and asked me if I knew why, but he didn't tell me why they're pissed off. He just asked me. I said no. He never brought it up again. So he died, but he asked me uh, in September or October, uh, because I flew back over from my aunt's funeral, so from another country. But Um, when I was at the other country, uh, I felt disrespected as a disabled veteran at the U.S. Embassy in Kuwait, and uh, I was there with my uncle, and he talking about how they do basketball and all this stuff inside the embassy area and everything. I was want to see it and everything, and I have my you know retirement card and everything, passport, and I let my uncle go first because he had the appointment because I was gonna go with him, and the the Indian guy uh, from India, um, he will let me in, and he pointed to the seats that's in the 140-degree weather, and it's hot, and he wanted me to sit in direct sunlight. I'm like, uh, soft up in the bird, and the rest of the cameras on my way out. I mean, she just say this. No, you can't. Cannot enter. But anyway, I don't know if that was the reason they got the pennies in a twist. The U.S. government, I have no clue. Plus, I don't have a security clearance to not talk about anything. I just can't talk about exactly what I tested in White Sands missile range while I was at Fort Bliss with future combat systems of Department of Defense. But I'd rather have a job at an NRO so I can. I have my own cases to figure out because I got the Amtrak case, you know, and then I have a few other cases I wanted to explore more into, and I want to use my pendulum magic because I've already came across two different flavors of meteorite at this one location, and I want to run a meteor detector over it, see if I pull any more. Because when I found four the first time, in 15 minutes, I found four pieces of meteorite, in one location. That's without a magnet or anything. I just used the pendulum, and I found four. And I drove from all the way from New Orleans when I went to search for it. Unknown location. It's a totally unknown location. I haven't got the. I went to Tulsa University, like in Dukes Hazard. They went to Georgia State University or something, and I had some samples. There, I wasn't looking for meteorite this instantly. I was looking for other things. I found a holy rock. Has six holes, and then I went another 50 miles, and then I found the same type of material with one huge massive hole in it. Uh, and then I found another 20 miles. Then I found some material. Uh, there's only the same material in the whole area. So uh, the first one has six holes. I mean, I got things to do, and I just need permanent packing and a sound amnesty. And make 20, I don't have to go to the VA anymore. And so with the job of NRO, then I don't have to worry about those biker gangs and stuff because they can't look up where I'm at. I mean, it's all about uh, playing Trump. I mean, trying to keep on, keeping on, trying to bring me down. And I'm trying to come up over there legally, I mean, hell, I got body armor. I got all kinds of shit, that I could wipe them out. Just I try to do it legally. I mean, if I get a job, I just go down there and say, hey, you can't touch this, and with a partner with me. That's all I want to do to them. Uh, and see why Michael Brown, when he gave my stuff back, he's like, lose my number, don't come back, and if you do come back, you'd be sorry, right? I mean, this is after he gave me my stuff. Man, I could have. Who's sorry now? See, here's Meteorite. So after NRO and reunited, um, I drove down the hill because I had my Duramax diesel parked behind another vehicle out of sight, direct sight of uh, the dying area, and I felt something was about to happen, so I instinctively parked my truck at the base of the hill behind another vehicle because that's another camping area down there, and so I slowed down to my diesel and dumped my truck and left. And my I went from Duffy, Virginia, and drove all the way up to Salem, Massachusetts. Because I wanted to, you know, well, I was go to Salem for that week trial shit, which was crap anyway. Because come to find out, none of the females were actual witches, and then you learn other stuff. But you learn that stuff to be fake, and it's a place of high energy as well. But I don't want to prey on, you know, corrupted ley lines. So I didn't pray there. But I waited the weekend to where I come back that Monday because I figured that Andrew Beeson and Rick D, were already left. And I returned and they were gone because I didn't think they would stay for the teardown, and they didn't. And teardown because when you put it up, charter company, reading, you got to put it down, restack everything, you know, you got a checklist, and this reunion started back in Crossville, Tennessee, in the Vietnam vet era, and they handed the sword, and our guys that's my age or my peers, uh, we have to run it for the elderly ones, and so um, that's why you see two different areas of shooting in my military videos, because with those automatic weapons, because we have a class 3 guy uh, have those, and so so I returned uh, to Charlie Company reunion at the end during teardown, and Rick D and Andrew Beason already left. That was the whole idea of coming back because Mike Brown had my rifle and my bar number and my rounds and everything because uh, I didn't want to store them where I was living before because I was living in a trailer behind a flimsy ass door. And already, uh, Mike Brown had for a while. Even my 1911 pair of ordnance dubstack that I was still in with my pistol, my shotgun, and my trailer. Uh, Found out who did it 5 days later by my sergeant Adam Anderson, my buddy that was murdered down in Nashville Auditista College at Lincoln Tech. Uh, I had a 3.5 going for honors, and Adam had a 4.0, and they couldn't separate us either. Um, it was fun because we signed up as a battle buddy. Uh, they can't separate us unless we failed one of the classes, and we always passed the class together, and it was fun. and till he got murdered. And I dropped out of there, so I could. I mean, uh, we signed together. I mean, yeah, I could finish, but I mean, you have a murderer running around that killed my buddy back in Iraq. On what for? I mean, we know each other. We didn't know each other because we were in the. I just knew him because we went to chow hall going, "Hey man, how you doing?" Hey. uh, that's how I knew Arnold Anderson, Henry Anderson. But um, yeah, so also, I mean, the reason I went down to New Orleans in the first place is so I can figure out answers from Adam Anderson stuff. But uh, turns out the werewolf Royce Allison of the OTO Knights Templar, he's like, oh, you can do what I can do. Oh yeah, yeah, so because I was a natural at magic. So uh, and this is the same time frame where uh, he walks up to um, Caleb, proclaimed vampire of the Freemasons, and they're both OTO, and he says to Caleb, he's angelic, pointing at me. I was like, wow, if I'm angelic, I mean, I don't need to do dark stuff to do things. I mean, hell, I uh, I led my platoon in Iraq to an IED. Me and Sergeant Owens found together because it was my idea to go look because Staff Sergeant Richards, the new platoon sergeant, he was wanted to go somewhere, but he didn't want to return to that for our mission or for our briefing about the ups on the vehicles. Uh, so it was my idea to go look, but uh, we were going the wrong direction across the because we're near in the beginning we're near the base, and the whole platoon turned around because Staff Sergeant Richards thought the place I was talking about was on the side of the city, and how no we're going the wrong way because we got little windows in the back MRAP, and as gunning, your way around the battle space because you see everything all day, and I knew we were going the wrong way, and I was like, because we're supposed to be. Uh, so I asked to take charge of the convoy from the platoon sergeant, and he granted my uh, permission to take charge of my truck, make my truck lead truck, and I'll get us there. And and I did. I got us there. We dismounted. Sergeant Billy Owens on my ass, kicking in the door, going to the same spot. I left it up, and nothing was there. I laid it back down. Sergeant Owens said lift it back up. I lifted it back up. He reached the side in the uh, it was a metal box where they store water. Uh, Usually they stick on top of buildings to give it pressure. So, but it was flipped over, so no water was collecting in it. So Sergeant Owens reached inside the thing and pulled out a burlap sack. And as I raised my hand in and he pulled down the burlap sack, there was a propane tank with and you look inside with a cutout with HME and a blast cap in it. And I laid it down and I said, bomb, fuck up. I ran back to the truck. So uh I mean I got full credit in my Arkham. Sorry, Owens wasn't gonna give me full credit first. I said, well, told them, I if I was wrong, I'll owe them when we get back, and that means I'll do push-ups, running, sit-ups, whatever they want me to do. Smoke me for free if I was wrong on the location where we uh, found the 2 RPG rounds and RPG launcher in the same spot. That's why when I lifted it up, nothing was there, because that's what we did last time. We lifted it up and there was 2 rounds in the launcher. And so if you like this content, like and subscribe.